Have you ever just looked at the world, at all the conflict, all the division, and just wondered, why does everything feel so broken, so stuck? Well, today we're going to dig into a pretty compelling diagnosis for our global crises, one that traces everything back to a tiny glitch deep inside our own minds. And way more importantly, we'll look at a potential upgrade for our entire civilization. So yeah, let's get right into it. Here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll get to the root of the problem, what we're calling our primal glitch. Then, we'll zoom out and look at the big picture solution, a full-on civilizational upgrade. After that, we'll get really practical and check out a tool designed to make this happen, the Phoenix platform. And we'll wrap it all up by imagining what the future could actually look like if we get this right, a shift from total fragmentation to real synergy. Okay, so first things first, the diagnosis. Before we can even begin to talk about solutions, we have to get super clear on what the root of the problem actually is. I mean, you feel it, right? You see it on the news every single day. With all of our incredible technology and knowledge, why are we so divided? Well, the whole idea behind this explainer is that the answer isn't really political or economic, not at its core. It's psychological. Okay, so check this out. This is like a map of the psychological domino effect that leads to, well, all of the mess. See, it all kicks off with our most basic primal human fears, the fear of death, of being abandoned, of pain. That deep fear triggers a desperate search for safety, which almost always morphs into a drive to control our environment and, each other. This need for control, it naturally spirals into competition and division, us versus them. From there, it's a really short walk to cycles of judgment and punishment, which ultimately traps us in what psychologists call the drama triangle, where we're constantly switching roles between being the victim, blaming the perpetrator, and trying to be the rescuer. It's a cycle that just churns out resentment and ultimately outright hatred. Now, this is absolutely crucial to understand. This isn't about blaming people. This whole cascade starts from our survival drive. It's baked into our biology. It's not some kind of moral flaw. And for most of human history, living in small tribes, this instinct was a superpower. It kept us alive. But here's the catch. When you take those instincts that worked so well for a small tribe and you blast them onto a global scale with modern technology, they become incredibly dangerous. In-group loyalty, that becomes geopolitical rivalry. Guarding your little pile of resources, that becomes a zero-sum, dog-eat-dog global economy. And protecting your boundaries, well, that escalates into paranoia, strategic secrecy, and massive arms races. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. We're caught in this massive paradox. The very psychological programming that ensured our survival for thousands of years is now, ironically, creating the very conditions that threaten to wipe us out. Our desperate attempts to make ourselves safe are making the entire world unsafe. So, if our old operating system is buggy and crashing the whole system, what's the fix? Well, that brings us to the prescription, and it's nothing less than a full civilizational upgrade. So what does this upgrade actually look like? Well, think of it like this. We're trying to shift from our old OS, one that runs on competition, control, and short-term gain, to a brand new one. This new OS is all about collaboration, trust, regeneration, and thinking about our long-term role as caretakers of the planet. But let's be really clear. This isn't some quick software patch we can just install and walk away from. This is a deep, ongoing process. It's more like a discipline. It's about consciously unlearning those old fear-based habits and actively, day by day, building new muscles for trust and collaboration. Okay, so if we need this massive upgrade, how in the world do we actually install it? That brings us to the treatment, a specific tool that's been designed to help us do exactly that. Meet the Phoenix platform, and yeah, it's described as a consciousness evolution architecture, which I know sounds pretty out there, but really, it's just a way of saying it's a system built to help us grow up together. Its main goal isn't just about technology, it's about providing a framework so we can consciously evolve as a species, on purpose. The core idea here is to build something called a global coherence architecture. A better way to think about it might be as a kind of global teamwork infrastructure. It's a system that helps all kinds of different groups, from tiny charities to entire nations, to align what they're doing and work together. But, and this is key, without forcing everybody to be the same. It's all about creating harmony, not a monopoly on good ideas. And right at the heart of this whole thing is something called the synergy engine. You can basically think of it as a global matchmaker for good. Its entire job is to look out across the world and find all the different organizations, the regenerative projects, the spiritual groups that are all working on complementary pieces of the same puzzle. Then it helps them connect and see each other, breaking down those walls that keep them isolated so they can have a way bigger impact together than they ever could alone. And this system is designed to help us rise above those old fear-based habits by working on 4 different layers all at the same time. Cognitively, it helps us make sense of really complex problems together. Relationally and emotionally, it helps us build the actual trust we need to collaborate for real. Spiritually, it connects the work we do to a deeper sense of purpose, of aligning human life with all life. And finally, operationally, it helps turn all that coherence and all those good intentions into actual real-world action. This is such an important point. Phoenix isn't about some new tech that's going to save us. The technology is just the scaffolding. It's the temporary structure we build around the real project. And that real project is human transformation. It's about us evolving our ability to heal, to trust, and to work together on a scale we've literally never seen before. All right, let's bring this all home. Let's move to our final section and look at the new prognosis this all points toward for humanity. A future that could be defined not by fragmentation, but by synergy. I mean, what a powerful metaphor, right? A planetary nervous system. The idea is to create a digital foundation that allows all of humanity to sense what's happening around the world, the pain, the breakthroughs, the needs, and then respond in a coordinated, coherent way. Just like a healthy living organism does. And the ultimate goal of this planetary nervous system? It's actually really simple and kind of beautiful. It's to create a world where both people and the planet can thrive at the same time. A world where our own health and happiness are seen as being totally interconnected with the health of the Earth itself. And this brings us to that ultimate goal, synergy. It's so much more than just teamwork. When you see a flock of birds swirling in the sky, a murmuration, or a huge school of fish moving as one, they act with a kind of collective intelligence that's way greater than any single bird or fish could ever possess. That is synergy. And the idea here is to unlock that on a human scale. So we end on this question, which really brings it all right back to us, doesn't it? It moves past all the theory and asks the most practical question for our time. The diagnosis seems clear. The prescription is on the table. So the real question isn't what to do anymore, but how do we finally stop just talking about a better future and actually start building it together?